Well, good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. It is an excellent day to serve an excellent God in and with the spirit of excellence. Good morning, Coach Sherry, Chaplain Sherry, your community pastor Sherry. Sherry from the 800 block of Mooney Avenue. I am the unmuted one. I help women to speak up for themselves, for their people, and for their God. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good midnight. Whatever your case may be, I am just so excited that you are here with me today. This is my mornings, my makeup, my messages. This is a segment that I bring to you in the mornings, and usually I am applying makeup, but I'm trying to do something a little bit different, at least these couple of days, trying to get up. Well, not trying to get up, but this um, new time has me in a chokehold. I am in bed. I could be asleep by 9 if I didn't force myself to try to stay up a little longer and up by 3. So I just get on up, get prepared so that I can have time to do this before I get out of the door. But good morning. I am so glad that you are here. I pray that your weekend went well and you were able to pause. You were able to reset, to regroup, to restore all the re's in order that you can begin this work again. Because we understand that the work is never done, but we can just take a full stop to rest. So as I want, before we get started with our conversation for today, I do want to remind you to register for the Advent sessions that will begin December 2nd. This is the Wednesday after Thanksgiving. Advent begins Sunday after Thanksgiving, but we are going to have our sessions on I'm sorry, not the Wednesday, but Tuesdays. It will not be here on social media. It will be in private sessions on Zoom. You must register. The link is in this session. You can register using the link that's in the chat. Make sure that you register for these 4 weeks. Tuesday night beginning December the 2nd, 9th, 16th, and 23rd at 7 p.m. Standard Time. We will talk about for Advent, the anticipation, the awaiting of the promise. And our focus this year is Jesus born into a world like ours. We know the baby, we know the story, but what was happening in the world at the time Jesus was born? And why were the people looking for a Messiah? Why were they looking for a Messiah? And so we want to talk about in these 4 weeks, um, week 1, when empire rules the land. Number 2, occupied but not overcome. Week 3, a refugee God. And week 4, a light in the shadow of empire. And so we want to take these sessions in Zoom so that we can have a safe space to talk, to really get into the weeds of this world. And what I want to suggest and what I am arguing and pushing is that there's much that we could learn from the world in which Jesus was born, and the work that Jesus came to do in this world, and what it is that we can take, because we're going to find that the world in which Jesus was born has much resemblance to the world in which we live. So please make sure that you register by using the link that I have placed in the chat, the chat. So good morning, everybody. Good morning. If you are joining me for the very first time, I am Coach Sherry. I'm Chaplain Sherry, your community pastor Sherry. I'm Sherry from the 800 block of Mooney Avenue. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. So let us, we are continuing our conversation about speaking up, right? Because I am all about especially women knowing the power of their voice, knowing the power of voice. And many times we have been muted, right? We've been muted. We've been told that we have nothing to say. And so we have bought into that. Many of us have bought into that. And so we want to say that God did not call you to silence. God gave you a voice to use to speak up, not only for yourself, but for your people. That is the womanish way. When we are committed to the wholeness, not just of ourselves, we don't just want privilege. We want liberation for everybody, So good morning. When you're coming in, just go ahead on and like, share, and tag. There is no cost to be in this space. It is indeed a free space. All I ask is that you like, share, or tag. And if by chance you feel led, you can certainly pour into this ministry. This is indeed good ground. It is indeed good ground. Why? Because liberation is in this space. Liberation is in this space. So good morning. So this morning, I want us to focus on Matthew 15:21 through 23. Matthew 15:21 through 23. Our focus today is show up anyway. To show up anyway. And we want to look at a familiar text, in Matthew 15:21 through 23 in the NRSV. That's the New Revised Standard Version. And it begins by saying, Jesus left that place and went away to the district of Tyre and Sidon. Just then, a Canaanite woman from that region came out and started shouting, "Have mercy on me, Lord, Son of David. My daughter is tormented by a demon." But he did not answer her at all. Let's set the stage here. A woman, Jesus, number one, is in a land that's different from his own. And a woman, a Canaanite woman from that area, shows up. And not only does she show up, she showed up loud. She, as they say, she showed up and she showed out. This Canaanite woman, let's set the stage. Most of us we have been in spaces where we did not feel welcome. And in fact, the feeling was real because those who were in the space did not want us to be there. They did not think that we had what it takes, whether by looks, whether by actions, whether by social status or whatever. We didn't belong. And they made us feel, and they showed us in so many ways that we did not belong. You know it. You know it's what it's like to enter a room where the stairs say, where they look at you and look at us from head to toe. They give us that up down look, right? Turn up nose look to let us know that you do not belong in this space. And so that's where this story begins in Matthew 15:21 through 23 is what I read, but Matthew 15, right? We're beginning around 21. This woman should not have been in this place. She should have, and if she was going to be there, she should have been silent. If she was going to be there, she should have just been in a corner somewhere. She should have been seen and not heard. She's not a part of Jesus' inner circle. She's not Jewish. She's not one of the disciples. And she's not a man. Let's set this up again. She's in a place where she shouldn't be. Not only is she in the place, she has the nerve to start shouting, to bring attention to herself. She's not a Jew. She's not a disciple. And she's not a man. In other words, she has the wrong gender. She has the wrong tribe. She's from the wrong side of the track. Everything that possibly could be wrong, she is. And she has the audacity. She has the audacity to not only be there, but to have something to say. She dared to show up, and then she dared to speak. She didn't stay in her place. That's the story of what we call the Syrophoenician woman. So when Jesus crosses into this territory, he crosses into a Gentile territory. So if the truth be told, she's in her space. Jesus is out of the space. Jesus is coming into her territory. And so when this woman approaches him, she's called a Canaanite woman. So that's not just to let us know her geography, but to also let us know history. Because the Canaanites were ancient adversary of Israel. They were viewed as impure and unworthy. So even before she opens her mouth, she has a strike against her. Even before she opens her mouth, the crowd has already written her off. She's not just a woman. She's the wrong kind of woman. And here she comes, just like that Samaritan woman. I hope we see the pattern. She's breaking customs, she's breaking protocol, and she's breaking silence. She doesn't just show up, but she's breaking protocol, she's breaking silence, and she's breaking customs. Again, she's not just a woman, but she's the wrong kind of woman. So this woman comes. She may have been from the wrong tribe. She may have had the wrong gender. She may have even had the wrong worship. But what she does have is she has faith and she has courage. She has faith, and she has courage to not allow exclusions to determine her encounter. She has nothing else to lose. She does not allow exclusions to determine her encounter with Jesus. She understands something that others may have missed, that proximity to Jesus is not just about privilege, it's about persistence. Many times we want to be close to power, not to transform, but for privilege. She is near Jesus, not just for herself, but for her daughter. So she not only shows up, she shows out. And when she comes, she's already in a space that she shouldn't be. She's already feeling and knowing she shouldn't be there. But she begins to cry, "Have mercy on me." So she not only shows up, but she speaks up with a loud voice, "Have mercy on me." She doesn't talk about her credentials. She doesn't talk about her pedigree. She doesn't talk about her status. She starts with a cry. "Have mercy on me, son of David." And she uses this phrase, "son of David," as a messianic title, meaning that she recognizes that this person in front of her is the anointed one. That this person, who she calls the son of David, she doesn't know about worshiping. She doesn't know any about, she's got the wrong faith, the wrong religious expression, so to speak. She's not a disciple. She's not of the Jewish tradition. But she knows that the person in front of her has power. And she needs him to do something. Good morning. If you're just joining me, we are talking about the Syrophoenician woman showing up anyway. Sometimes you just have to show up. When they don't want you to be in the room and you know you're not supposed to be in the room based upon what society says about you, she not only shows up, she shows up shouting. "Son of David, have mercy on me." And yet, catch this, Jesus doesn't say anything at all. The one that she believes has the power to change her situation, no doubt she has heard him talk and do things for other people, healing the sick, raising the dead, giving sight to the blind, all of the things. So if there's anybody who ought to be able to help her, it ought to be Jesus. Yet this Jesus says nothing. She knows she's not supposed to be in a room. She's taking a chance. She's bringing attention to herself and her situation. And Jesus says nothing. Can you imagine the pain of that silence? I've taken my last I'm not even supposed to be here. I showed up because I believe that you had the power to change my situation. And yet you are silent. She cries out in desperation. She cries out for her child, not for herself. This is a mother who is putting her life on the line to save her daughter. And even in that silence, she doesn't walk away. She keeps shouting. She keeps believing. She keeps showing up. Anyway, how many times have you showed up? And you knew that this space was not one that welcomed you. But you have a goal. There's a need that you have that only this space can fulfill. How many times have you showed up with purpose in a space, in a church that did not think that you should be there? In a community, in a workplace, in a home. And although you are there, people are looking at you and not saying anything. Yet you push through that pain because you believe that what you need is in that space. She showed up anyway. She not only showed up, but she showed out. And yet Jesus says nothing. Listen, that's what I'm gonna leave with us today. Is the first step in getting what you need is to simply show up. That's all I got today. But tomorrow we're gonna come back with this same story. Show up. That's all I got. May all be well with your day.